came to pass at that time that Judah went down from his brethren and turned into a certain Adulamite, whose name was Hira. And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite, whose name was Shua. And he took her and went in unto her. And she conceived and bore a son, and he called his name Er. And she conceived again and bore a son, and she called his name Onan. And she yet again conceived and bore a son, and she called his name Shelah. And he was at Chezib when she bore him. And Judah took a wife for Er, his firstborn, and her name was Tamar. And Er, Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of Jehovah, and Jehovah slew him. And Judah said unto Onan, Go in unto your brother's wife, and perform the duty of a husband's brother unto her, and raise up seed to your brother. And Onan knew that the seed would not be his. And it came to pass, when he went in unto his brother's wife, that he spilled it on the ground, lest he should give seed to his brother. And the thing which he did was evil in the sight of Jehovah, and he slew him also. Then Judah said to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, Remain a widow in your father's house, till Shelah my son be grown up. For he said, lest he also die like his brethren. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. And in process of time, Shua's daughter, the wife of Judah, died. And Judah was comforted, and went up unto his sheep shearers to Timnah, he and his friend Hira the Adulamite. And it was told Tamar, saying, Behold, your father-in-law is going up to Timnah to share his sheep. And she put off from her the garments of her widowhood, and covered herself with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in the gate of Enaim, which is by the way to Timnah. For she saw that Shelah was grown up, and she was not given unto him as wife. When Judah saw her, he thought her to be a harlot, for she had covered her face. And he turned unto her by the way, and said, Come, I pray you, let me come in unto you. For he did not know that she was his daughter-in-law. And she said, What will you give me, that you may come in unto me? And he said, I will send you a kid of the goats from the flock. And she said, Will you give me your pledge till you send it? And he said, What pledge shall I give you? And she said, Your signet and your cord and your staff that is in your hand. And he gave them to her, and came in unto her, and she conceived by him. And she arose and went away, and put off her veil from her, and put on the garments of her widowhood. And Judah sent the kid of the goats by the hand of his friend the Adulamite, to receive the pledge from the woman's hand, but he did not find her. Then he asked the men of her place, saying, Where is the prostitute that was at Enaim by the wayside? And they said, There has been no prostitute here. And he returned to Judah and said, I have not found her. And the men of the place also said, There has been no prostitute here. And Judah said, Let her take it to her, lest we be put to shame. Behold, I sent this kid, and you did not find her. And it came to pass about 3 months after after that it was told Judah,
saying, Tamar, your daughter-in-law,
has played the harlot, and moreover, behold, she is with child by harlotry. And Judah said,
bring her forth.
And let her be burned.
When she was brought forth,
she sent to her father-in-law, saying, by the man whose these are, am I with child? And she said, discern, I pray you, whose are these? The signets, and the cords, and the staff. And Judah acknowledged them,
and said, she is more righteous than I,
because I did not give her to Shelah my son, and he did not know her again. And it came to pass in the time of her travail, that, behold, twins were in her womb.
And it came to pass,
when she travailed, that one put out a hand, and the midwife took and bound upon his hand a scarlet thread, saying, this came out first.
And it came to pass,
as he drew back his hand, that,
behold,
his brother came out. And she said, why have you made a breach for yourself? Therefore his name was called Perez. And afterward came out his brother, who had the scarlet thread upon his hand, and his name was called Zerah. And Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's, the captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him from the hand of the Ishmaelites that had brought him down there. And Jehovah was with Joseph, and he became a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. And his master saw that Jehovah was with him, and that Jehovah made all that he did to prosper in his hand. And Joseph found favor in his sight, and he ministered to him, and he made him overseer over his house, and all that he had he put into his hand. And it came to pass from the time that he made him overseer in his house, and over all that he had, that Jehovah blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake. And the blessing of Jehovah was upon all that he had in the house and in the field. And he left all that he had in Joseph's hand, and he did not concern himself with anything except the food which he ate. And Joseph was of a beautiful form and a beautiful countenance. And it came to pass after these things, that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, lie with me. But he refused, and said unto his master's wife, behold, my master does not concern himself with anything in the house, and he has put all that he has into my hand. He is not greater in this house than I, neither has he kept back anything from me. But you, because you are his wife, how then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? And it came to pass, as she spoke to Joseph day by day, that he did not listen unto her, to lie by her, or to be with her. And it came to pass on a certain day, that he went into the house to do his work, and there was none of the men of the house there within. And she caught him by his garment, saying, lie with me. And he left his garment in her hand, and fled, and got out. And it her hand, and had fled out, that she called unto the men of her house, and spoke unto them, saying, See, he has brought in a Hebrew unto us to mock us. He came in unto me to lie with me, and I cried with a loud voice. And it came to pass, when he heard that I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment by me, and fled, and got out. And she laid up his garment by her, until his master came home. And she spoke unto him according to these words, saying, The Hebrew servant whom you have brought unto us came in unto me to mock me. And it came to pass, as I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment by me, and fled out. And it came to pass, when his master heard the words of his wife, which she spoke unto him, saying, After this manner did your servant to me, that his anger was kindled. And Joseph's master took him, and put him into the prison, the place where the king's prisoners were bound. And he was there in the prison. But Jehovah was with Joseph, and showed him loving kindness, and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. And the keeper of the prison committed to Joseph's hand all the prisoners that were in the prison. And whatever they did there, he was the doer of it. The keeper of the prison looked not to anything that was under his hand, because Jehovah was with him, and that which he did, Jehovah made it to prosper.